Do you have a fear of death? When you see people dying around you, you feel anxious about it. You often have these thoughts in your mind: when I die, who will take care of my loved ones? Is life worth living when we all have to die one day? In today's video, we'll try to answer these questions about death and try to remove fear of death from your mind.
My name is Anmol. I'm a mental health practitioner, counselor, psychologist, career coach, life coach, and life skills trainer. I'm here to share my insights and learnings with you to tackle life challenges and attain your highest potential. Let's create balance in your life.
Hi everyone, I hope all of you are doing great today. Welcome to my channel Ask Life with Anmol. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, subscribe to my channel, click on that subscribe button to get more such videos and psychology and life. So today we'll be getting into the topic of death. It's a very serious topic. We'll try to understand what is the psychology behind death, why people have a fear of death, when we know that death is a natural truth. All of us have to die one day. If you believe in any religion, any scriptures, all of them have talked about death, rebirth, reincarnation. So why do people fear death? If you see the plant behind me, it is shedding away. It is getting reduced in its color. But that's how the season works. After some time, new leaves would come in that particular plant. That's how life is. If we have to die one day, it will be taken care by the next generation. So in today's video, we will be giving you psychology tested techniques to reduce your fear of death. We will also share a very interesting story about death which was created in 15th century. And in the end, we will do a meditation, a practice which will help you reduce your fear of death. So stay till the end. There are two kinds of fears that we have of death. First fear is death of self. What if I die tomorrow? What happens when I die? That is the first fear of death. Second fear of death is what happens when any of my closed one, my family, my relatives die. So first you need to understand, before reducing your fear of death, which fear of death are you tackling with? Is it the death of yourself that you have fear with, or is it the death of your family? Please try to understand. Now after you identify what kind of fear of death you are facing, you need to find out the reason behind it. So for example, the first fear of death is death of self. Now the reason behind this fear can be that you haven't achieved something in life. You still want to achieve it and you have very less time left. Or you think you are too burdened by the responsibilities of your family. You think that nobody will care about your family after you die. Or there can be another reasons also. So try to find out the reason behind why do you fear death of self. Second part, fear of your loved ones. The reason can be that you have not become independent. You are dependent on your family members. So in that particular case, you have this fear of death of other people because you have an aftercome of who will take care of me, who will take my responsibility. So this is the underlying factor. You always have been dependent on your family or your friends. Once they die, you feel that hollowness from inside. You feel that what will happen to them when they get ill. So try to understand the reason, which is the second step of identifying the fear of death. Now the next step that you have to do is to make two circles in your notebook or paper, whatever you are carrying, and try to identify the thoughts into two categories. The first category will be uncontrollable thoughts and second would be controllable thoughts. Now what are uncontrollable thoughts? Are the thoughts which come in our mind which have no base. Those are not under my control. For example, that you have a thought, I'll slip from my stairs, or I will get this particular disease, I will die from it. Or if you hear a news from your friends, your relatives that they are suffering from X disease, right? It can be any deadly disease. You think that they will die. So these things are not in our control. And we think about it again and again, that increases our fear of death. So first identify, write down your thoughts in the category of uncontrollable. And whenever they come in your mind, you have to put a stop button in them because that is not in your control. Next thing, next particular thought or category you have to create in the second circle is the controllable thought or the actions that you can take. Now there are two parts to it. The first thing that you can control to reduce your fear of death is knowledge. Having the knowledge about death, of rebirth, what happens when I die, right? So try to understand through scriptures, through books. There are anything you follow, any religion you follow, any scripture you follow, you can read about all these theories because knowledge reduces the stress of your fear of death. The second part is the actions what I am taking, right? That is also in my control. So for example, that I know that if I consume tobacco or smoke or to have alcohol, it will eventually lead to death. But still we do it. So the reduction can be in the case of reducing alcohol, reducing smoking. So that is the action I am taking to reduce my fear of death. So I hope you understood this concept of uncontrollable thoughts and the controllable thoughts. What is in my control and what is not in my control. So whenever you think about death, try to bifurcate your thoughts into controllable and uncontrollable circles. Now the problem with these thoughts bifurcation and the actions that people have to take, it is just opposite. People are living in the denial that something would happen to us. They give themselves excuses. For example, if you are living in a city, according to a study, you are already smoking 18 cigarettes. So they think that what will happen if I smoke? I am already smoking 18 cigarettes, right? So they give themselves reasons for smoking. My past was very tragic. It was very traumatic. My ancestors used to consume alcohol and tobacco, so I'll consume it, right? It's very natural to me. So if you think about it, people are telling lies to themselves and then they ponder upon the question of death. Another thing which happens is that people don't see actionable steps. So for example, if you are having fear of death related to self, now that is a negative emotion. That can be converted into a positive emotion of inquisitiveness, of inquiry about death, by enhancing your knowledge about death through different scriptures. If you are having the fear of death of your loved ones, what you can do is get yourself an insurance plan. That will help you to understand or give safety to both yourself and your parents or any loved one. That will reduce your anxiety related to death. That's what these insurance plans are happening. So the question, the end result that you want to achieve by reducing fear of death is the knowledge and the actions that you are taking. So that's the irony. We are telling lies to ourselves but not able to see the truth of death, right? So try to see the truth of death and take the action steps that we mentioned here. One more thing that you can do if you have a fear of death and there is a codependency between your loved ones, you feel that if the other person dies, who will take care of me, who will take my responsibilities, is to upskill yourself with all your abilities, whether it is professional abilities or personal abilities. That will also reduce your stress when someone else is dying, which is closed one. So that is the controllable action. So you have to take actions to upskill yourself, to build yourself, even though nobody is there for you. That's the scenario that you have to imagine. If you want to reduce your fear of death, if it is related to dying of the other person, your loved one, and you feel that you will become lonely, nobody will take care of you. So now I would like to share a story with you. This play was written in 15th century and it really gives an insight about the concept of death that we always forget. So in this play we have different characters. So the first character is the Everyman. Everyman depicts all the humanity. In this case, Everyman is playing a father and a husband. He is married and have 2 children. Now, one day during his tenure of work, he gets greeted by the messenger of death. God has sent the messenger of death to him and told him that you have one day left with you. God has decided to take care of the account of your karmas that you have done. So, messenger of death gives one day to every man to take with him all the people, goods or anything that can give his account to the God about what work he has done. So now every man goes to other people, goods and other things that he has earned in his life. So the first person he goes to is wife. So he tells his wife that this situation has happened to me. Will you go to the God to give my account of good deeds and bad deeds? So wife says that karma belongs to us. All these sins, all the good deeds that we have done are our responsibilities. Why do you want me to take your responsibility? So the wife denies Everyman to go to God in this way. Second, the Everyman goes to the children and he asks the children, will they come with him to the God? The children says that we have our own future. We still have to grow. We still have our own karmas. So we would not be able to go with you. So they also deny Everyman. Then Everyman goes to the friends. Friends who promises to help. But after some time friends say that the journey we don't know. It would be very dangerous and unpleasant to us. So we won't be able to go with you to God. Right? Then Everyman goes to the relatives. Relatives say that we can go with you, but you can tell me what will be the path, will it be challenging for us, right? Will there be any difficulty? So Everyman says that I don't know whether there will be any difficulty or not. In that particular case, Everyman's relatives also deny him. Then comes the goods. Everyman goes to all the goods that represents material wealth. They say that you have earned us in this world, in this materialistic world, whether it is land, it is car, it is house, they belong to this world. They cannot go with him in afterlife because all these goods and products don't go or don't have any value after life. So they also deny Everyman. Next, Everyman goes to knowledge. Whatever knowledge Everyman has gained throughout his life till now goes to the knowledge. Knowledge says that yes, you have gained me throughout your study, your research work, that you have done, the profession that you are into. So I will go with. Then he goes to the beauty, strength, the five senses, the body. And they say, okay, that we have been a part of you when you were born, and we will also go with you to the God. Lastly, the person goes to a very feeble character, very weak character, good deeds. So he asks his good deeds whether good deeds will come to the God with him, with this journey. Good deeds says, yes, of course, I'll go with you. On the next day, what happens? So there are three people: good deeds, knowledge, and beauty, strength, and body, and all the five senses, which are there in the deathbed of the Everyman. So last time, Everyman asks everyone now that I hope all of you are confident, all of you are going with me along with the messenger of death to God. Knowledge thinks about it, and the knowledge says the knowledge that you have gained is about this world. This world's knowledge would not be beneficial in afterlife world. So sorry, but I won't be able to go with you. So the knowledge backs out at the end. Then comes the beauty, the strength, the five wits, and the body. So these are the human body. They represent the human body and senses. They say that physical and mental strengths are temporary and cannot help a person after life. And the journey would be too difficult for us. We have a very limited time period. We deteriorate with age. So how can we go with you? We have a limited time period. So they also deny Everyman to go with him at the last moment. So the last thing that is left is the good deeds. So only the good deeds go with Everyman and the messenger of death to the God. So you see, it all boils down to good deeds. Your work, your karmas that you are doing today, that will help you in your last moment. Now let's do our last exercise, which will convert your fear of death into motivation, into a vision. I want you to carry yourself a pen and a notebook for this activity and sit in a quiet place where you are not disturbed by any noises around you. You can pause the video if you are not in that state. I want you to close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and out. Take a deep breath in and out. Take a deep breath in and out. Think about that it's your last day of life. You have died with all your karmas, whatever you have done in your life. Think about it. If you are feeling anxious, try to breathe in and out. Try to relax yourself. It happens with everyone. Death is the ultimate truth. So see yourself that you are dying. You are in your funeral. Now there are people around you who you have interacted with throughout your life. So the first persona you can imagine is your friends that you have gained throughout your life. The second set of people are your family members, your parents, your children, your better half, and extended family members. They also have come to your funeral. Next people are from your work. Whatever work you have been doing throughout your life, they have also gathered in your funeral. Now try to imagine what they are saying about you. These are not their opinions. These are the actual karmas, the good deeds that you have done till now. So what are your friends telling you? Imagine. Are the friends saying that he or she was very loyal person? We spent good quality time together. He or she was with me in my bad and good times. So please imagine what your friends are saying about you. Next, let's go to your family. What is your family telling about you? He or she made us happy. He or she was a loving partner. He or she was very caring, compassionate. So what are they telling about you? Next, I want you to imagine the work people. Whatever work profession you have done, or if you are a part of any community service also, what are they saying about you? He or she was very hardworking person. He or she was very creative. He or she had leadership skills and values. We felt motivated in his or her company. So try to imagine what the work people are saying on your last day when you have died. Keep breathing. Take a deep breath in and out. Take a deep breath in and out. Take a deep breath in and out. Now I want you to slowly open your eyes. And whatever you thought, how you have lived your life, and what these people were saying around you, please write it down in that notebook or paper, whatever you are carrying. Just 5 to 10 things how you want to be remembered before you die, what these people were saying about you. So please write down in 5 points. You can pause the video if you want to write down all these points. So whatever things you have written you want to do before you die, how you want to be remembered, it will create a vision for you. It will convert the fear into an action that you want to have. So for example, if you have a fear of death, please do all these things before you die. So you can write it down, take it as a motivation, create an action plan of how you will be remembered by these points that you have written down. I hope this video helped you understand the concept of death from a different perspective. Share this video with your friends and family members if they want to combat the fear of death. Like this video, subscribe to my channel Ask Life with Anmol to create balance in your life. Keep growing.